Hello peeps, we have this extremely beautiful, sleek GiantMouse ACE line Bleecker in full titanium scales. Magnacut blade steel, HRC on this is 62. It's very attractive. Now I'll do the detailed desktop review just like I like with my OCD, getting into the nitty-gritty and the details of how the products feel in my hands, in my use, rather than giving you specs and torturing the things. And that there's plenty of good information in that. I keep repeating, I'm not taking anything away from the hard test video reviews. I actually learn a lot of the characteristics of the blade steels, the mechanisms, etc. from those types of reviews. But I don't do those reviews; those are already there. I do the my usual detailed reviews, as I call them. Let's get into the design details that I like. So GiantMouse have sent me these two models so far, and I absolutely loved both of them. This especially, what I want to say is that on their ACE line, at least, and I'm sure that they do similar quality elsewhere, everything that you touch is very pleasant, very rounded. It's just a pleasure to use. No sharp edges, no sharp corners, and the hardware and materials have meticulously been selected to just look cool. The design elements also, they stand out and they're recognizable. This is not a rip-off from anywhere. This is done by somebody that knows knives well, has a very good taste, and I see a lot of R&D in this model especially. I absolutely love the Bleecker. So it is a frame lock. It does have a steel insert because it is a titanium frame, and it does have an over extension stop or over flex stop or whatever, so that you don't bend it out too much. The design allows you to get in there and without having a thumb stud, like, it's still easy to flick it, thumb flick or spidey flick, and I suck at the spidey flick. I usually have to kind of add my, and that's just because I have carpal tunnel. And so my fingers don't work as I would like them to. The knife, as I've already mentioned, is very sleek and thin, but at the same time, GiantMouse have managed to make it very comfortable in your hand. There is absolutely no sharp edges. Everything is rounded very nicely. And I have to point this out. You see these edges, how they're not just chamfered, they are rounded. And it's a pleasure to hold this thing. Even in here, nothing. It looks kind of sharp, but nope, not sharp. Also, please notice here that it flares out like a stiletto, and that adds to the secure hold. I've already mentioned that this is a very mean looking knife for tactical use. If you know how to use a knife, you can do extreme damage with this. And the thing that stands out is that you get this much blade in this tiny, sleek size factor. Any type of hold is secure, especially reverse hold, very secure again, because it flares out, it thins in here, so you're able to grab it and plus put your thumb in here. This is functional jimping. It's not a gimmick. It helps you in every grip. Even when you hold it like this, it actually does. But nothing on the knife is sharp, as I've already mentioned. The detent is just strong enough. It does not open. You really have to flick it to have it open, so you wouldn't have it happen unintentionally. The clip is perfect for this, I think, even though they have a variety of clips, and it is reversible, so that's nice. Looks slick. nothing irritating. There's usually you have holes. I like this design better. We do have caged ball bearings in here. I did not take it apart. I do not want to take it apart at this stage, and why is because I don't need to. Clip is perfect for this, I think, even though they have a variety of clips, and it is reversible, so that's nice. Looks slick, nothing irritating. There's usually you have holes. I like this design better, and it works fine. The clip does not, because this is a slick handle, I mean, there's no texturing on it. It actually works very well with any type of pocket. And that is important because this is a gentleman's knife or an EDC knife. And as much as I love this Demco handle, for example, I always point out that if you have, I mean, this tears up your pens, not because the clip is bad, this is a kick-ass clip, but because of the texture. Same with this Tucson, I had that remark, this tears up because it presses against this texture, the clip presses against and it tears up your pocket. And this is a common issue. So I always recommend that when you know that where you're going to be placing a clip, just make it smooth in that area. So imagine on both sides, if I was to reverse the clip, here I would just have a round section where it's just smooth, and the clip tension will still do a fine job. Otherwise it tears up the pants. Not an issue with the Bleecker at all. You can do this with a costume, internal pocket, out pocket, your t-shirt pocket, whatever. So it's a very well thought out and well designed clip. And they also make this type of clip, and this is universal, the mounting. So this is how it would look if I was to use this clip, which still looks fine, but I do much prefer this type of clip, the wire clip. And this would still maintain that smooth operation over any type of pocket, just because the scale is smooth, and that's where the clip touches the scale on a smooth area. So that's also well designed. And now there's just certain blade geometries that speak to you, depending on what you like maybe, but this stuff, this shape format, the size factor, and the quality of materials used and quality of craftsmanship, it already showed on the photos, and I just started drooling really. And when I got it in my hands, it met my expectations, and in some ways even exceeded them. It already cut me a few times while using, not because of the knife, because I fidget with the knives a lot to get acquainted with them. When I receive a knife, I'll have it by my side and I'll play with them all day, you know, open it, close it, etc. And every knife acts differently. Every knife has a different choil, so when you close it down, it'll hit your finger or your nail in a different spot. I have a dozen of knives that I'm testing, comparing at the same time, and so you kind of lose the feel. And so this is not due to the knife. Plenty of knives. This knife, that is a really cool knife actually, by Real Steel. That one cut me up here. Not the fault of the knife. I'm just testing and fidgeting with a knife. But when a knife cuts me in this type of scenario, I actually don't mind. It's like a beekeeper being stung by a bee. You learn about each other, you know. The knife gets your blood, tastes your blood. You get a feel of how it cuts on your own flesh, and it's just an acquainting process. So all good. Actually, I get more emotionally attached to the knives that taste my blood. So I will do a very detailed review on desktop for this knife, but I will say right out that currently I do not own a knife that is as sexy, sleek, and just minimalistically perfect as this one in my collection, especially in this size factor. And it is in Magnacut, so the fact that it is a very thin, slicey, scary tip and the blade, that is all fine, because it is made out of pretty much the optimal, the very best super steel that is currently available on the market. I absolutely drool over this little thing. It's a gentleman's knife, so you wouldn't normally be doing any hard tasks, though it can take quite a bit of tension on it, quite a bit of, I guess, relative hard use for such a tiny knife, because it is Magnacut. It is a very thin blade, so as you would expect, it does microscopic feathers. Microscopic. I will bring you in here. I cut a few off, so I'll bring you in to show you. Paper thin. This is down to blade geometry, of course. So can you come in close? The cutting edge is very well sharpened, but it's not polished. Not to, we'll see on the desktop as well, but not to a mirror polish, but it is better than some other knives that I've received in similar price ranges. But the blade itself, man, very, very nice. Gentleman's blade again. But let's put a few notches in if we had to. Now, you would not be doing this in hardwood, not at all. If you know what you're doing, you don't want to do it in hardwood. But that's what I have here. It does have jimping down on the blade, so you can get in close, work with the tip. And I can get some notches in, as you can see. But it's not a bushcraft knife, not a bushcraft geometry, so you shouldn't expect like a Mora type of performance. It is a gentleman's blade, so you could cut all kinds of stuff with this. So this version has full titanium scales. You do also have an option of getting this. It's slightly cheaper, about $40-45 cheaper if you get titanium from one side, and the other one is carbon fiber. And internal, the liner in here is copper color. I don't know if it's anodized titanium. It probably is. It could also be brass or anodized titanium. Obviously, the blade is the same. Now, the fact that they have hardened these to 62 HRC, I like more than if it was, say, 63 or 4, because it is Magnacut. It can go and take those hardnesses, but this is a very thin and sleek blade and goes down to a very fine tip. So I would rather sacrifice that just tiny bit of hardness for added toughness of the blade. And we wouldn't chip as much as a 63 or 64 HRC blade would. The blade length on this is 3.26 inches. That's about 83 millimeters approximately. From tip to blade thickness is 0.11 inches, and that is 2.93 millimeters. Handle length is 4.14 inches, 105 millimeters, and the overall length is 7.4 inches, 188 millimeters. The weight of the knife is 63 grams. I cannot recommend this knife enough. It's not a cheap knife. GiantMouse, and especially their ACE line, is not a cheap knife brand. It is in the premium line. But you do definitely get what you pay for in terms of quality, in terms of the materials used, and workmanship. So I can only strongly recommend this purchase for somebody that is looking to have something that stands out clearly. Now make sure that you check out the description for a 10% discount code and take advantage of that if you decide to purchase anything from GiantMouse. By the way, they also carry some cool gear, cool stickers, flasks, cups, etc. So check them out. Thank you for watching and have a good one. Stay tuned for more.